Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And Joshua Gray.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Zach, and Matt coming at you here. I know it's been a little bit of a break, but we got some big news coming out here in Star Wars Legion land.
I mean, everybody else has the news too, but we're also going to be repeating the news to you.
Wait, so everyone knows about this?
Yeah, pretty much everybody already.
It's not just a little secret that
we're going to be like 2 days behind by the time they hear this, so...
Well, all right, so let me be the first.
Let's pump people up now.
All right, let's just get out of the way. Everyone's been talking about it. We need to address this. Notch to notch. Problem or big problem? Zach, go.
I love it. I love it. Every inch of this notch to notch debacle.
Matt, have you lost any sleep over notch to notch?
I've lost sleep, so why not notch to notch? Just rattling around inside my brain. By and large, though, I just plan to ignore it. It doesn't exist.
I find it difficult to ignore notch to notch.
No, really.
All right. So anybody who was wondering what that is, there was a little discussion on Facebook the other day about whether or not preventing units from pivoting using notch to notch is a legitimate strategy.
If you have any questions or comments about that, feel free not to post up on the Outriders page.
No, we're just messing around. So, big day yesterday, of course. GenCon's going on. None of us are there right now, unfortunately, because we have, jobs we can't get away from, and,
I could get away from.
Well, okay, I don't.
Thanks.
We'll go next year. How about that?
You know what? Honestly, after the last 2 years, I think I have to go next year.
I hope all those people at GenCon that wanted to get their Clone Wars boxes, I share your pain, because this is, from what I've heard, this is Vader exclusive all over again.
So they only had a few of them available for general purchase?
If they're doing it like they did at Celebration, then they will have like 50 that they're selling each day. But apparently they are selling to the people with the exclusive badges before the general populace gets in.
That sucks, because it's just going to end up on eBay. And
I was saying, you probably go check it out right there. Zach, I see you've already got your box on the way.
Of course.
Wait, what are you even complaining about, Matt? You got a Star Wars Celebration Vader, and he's nice and painted now.
Well, I did, but I only got that because of the largesse of a kind person.
Is that a euphemism for fat?
No.
No, I mean, hopefully they have enough to distribute. For some reason, I thought I remember reading that the people who are going to be playing in the tournament are going to have the ability to buy them. Is that
the ability to buy and the availability?
Okay.
For those that are playing in the tournament, from what I hear, it's kind of like, okay, well, that's what you're doing for that portion of GenCon, so hopefully your heat's not in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if you don't think you're going to win GenCon, would you rather just maybe leave and go buy the Clone Wars box?
But what if you wait in line and you still don't get it?
You still don't get it.
And now you're not also in the tournament.
Yeah. Man, decisions.
Decisions.
We'll just wait till September 12th.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
16th? 12th? What was it?
I think the rules reference says the 12th, so that's where we're shooting right now.
We're speculating on that.
Yeah.
So we're going to, we try to be organized in this, relatively organized on this podcast. We're going to be all over the board today, just warning you guys.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about.
So much stuff. We're like kids on Christmas, like you half open one present and then you're like, oh, but look at this one. So
tanks.
Let's now talk about The Boys for half an hour.
Such a good show. Such a good show. Don't even get me started on that.
I just got through episode 4, and I don't know if I can finish it.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
because don't stop trying to distract me. Give me borderline ADD.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get too far off topic, Star Wars news. Matt, anything? Go.
Well, the new Thrawn book, The Treachery, is out, and I'm listening to an audiobook. A bunch of the guys in the Patreon, our Patreon Discord server, were talking about it, saying it was real good. Except for that assistant director guy. Holy cow, that guy can just jump off a cliff. But whatever. It's good though. I think I like it better than the second book right now so far.
Is there literally someone who's referred to as the assistant director?
Yes, I don't want to spoil anything,
Okay.
but there is an assistant director in there. and
Dwight
he is-
Schrute, assistant to the director?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so anything else Star Wars news?
I mean, Disney Plus is still on the way, so Mandalorian, we're getting some more insights into the characters that are going to be coming our way for that, but you can peruse at your leisure. We've got other things to talk about.
That's true.
My God, man. Armada.
Of course, Armada, yeah.
Yes.
That's what we're all here for.
Yes.
All right, so yesterday, while I was busy with 3 other things going on, got a chance to catch some of the stream for the GenCon releases, and wow. I mean, I was hoping that we were going to get some big news, and I was not disappointed. First thoughts, Zach. What were you thinking? I know you were probably streaming this live somewhere, and
That was probably the most exciting 4 minutes of Legion talk that I've had in like a full year.
dang, okay.
4 minutes, is that all it was?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They were hitting it quick, just bam. By the way,
Next
this cool
slide.
thing's coming out. Next
Next
slide.
slide.
This is dope. Do you want it? Here's the price. Q1. Next.
Yeah, so I mean, the overall presentation I thought was good.
Q1.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
Okay.
second. But yeah, they dropped Legion before they dropped X-Wing, which was cool.
Yep.
I think they did a different game before that.
They
but
did
Was it Keyforge
their
beforehand? Or no,
Eldritch
Keyforge is after.
Horror.
Oh, the Arkham Horror or something?
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They still cling to that property. I don't understand. I guess it must be doing well for them.
People love Lovecraft.
Yep.
I mean, I do
It's
too.
nice.
But, yeah. Anyway,
That's good.
It's neat.
We'd like to also announce today our upcoming expansion of the Outriders network. We're going to have Marvel Outriders coming your way.
that was kind of a cool announcement too.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. We can barely make time for this one.
I was joking around with Josh today. I was like, "Hey, so we're gonna do a Marvel podcast, right?"
Oh, that was you? Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
I thought Josh was joking. I was like, you so-and-so. Josh, if you're listening, you so-and-so.
He didn't listen even when he was on the podcast.
That's true.
Let's be real here. No, so they started, dropping the big news right away. Dooku and Rex were the first things announced.
Dropping a Dooku, that's right.
And I was really happy to see that because, when we got the Galactic Clone War or Galactic Civil War box, immediately we knew about Leia and Veers. So it's nice to know that they've got the alternative, alternative commanders coming out. So you're not going to be, only stuck with knowing about Grievous and Obi-Wan. Well, about the new ones coming out. You're going to be stuck without them for a while. But
Right. We also know that there's a gap in the production line. Like somebody posted up a list of all the numbers that are being released. There's room in there, and I'm hoping that we're going to get what all the fans are screaming for.
Ewoks.
Yes, Ewoks.
Ewoks, yeah.
No, Newt Gunray is a commander for the
I know Nick
Separatists.
Freeman will probably come back to the game if that's the case.
Hey.
He's been on the Gunray train for a while. No,
Is that
so,
illegal?
so the poses on both of these are awesome. Like I really like Dooku's pose. It's very stoic, and he's doing little
He looks like a duelist.
little point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I dig
then,
it.
Of course, Captain Rex is out there dual wielding.
Well, sexy Rexy.
So I really like the poses with both models. I'm not sure if those are going to be mono pose or if you're going to be able to adjust it at all.
Now, I thought everything was going to be moved over to the sprues for this.
So I'm not sure if they did say that the Phase 2 clone troopers were going to be multi-pose, or they're going to be on sprues. So as far as the individual leaders, I don't know if they said anything about that.
Okay. Either way, it looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, after those two, then they debuted the
so
B2
glad they
battle
got-
droids
Yeah.
and the Phase 2
Dude.
clone troopers.
I like the B2s. I heard a little bit of consternation. I really like them.
Are you talking about the sculpts? Talking
Yeah,
about
the sculpts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, I do
and
too.
the Phase 2 clone troopers are awesome. I
Oh, boy.
really like the sculpts on those two. The Z6 guy on the knee, that's so cool.
I like the mortar guy.
Yeah.
What about that mortar combat?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what? And man, good on the clones. I mean, we don't really know what everything does yet, but the clones are both heavy weapon options with the Phase 1 and Phase 2 both look playable. And that's something we didn't really see out of the original trilogy trooper selections, because it always seemed
Well,
like
we've all
one
learned and grown and
Yeah.
evolved together.
But like with the stormtroopers, it was like nobody's taking the HH-12 and nobody's taking the Ion Trooper for the Rebels. Whereas they're like, all right, well, the clone troopers, let's give them the DLT.
Wait a
which
second,
everyone
people
loves.
aren't taking the HH-12?
Well, I know you did.
Yeah,
But
that's right. Not nobody. This guy.
all right,
Okay.
Matt.
You're not people.
There are dozens.
Yeah, that's fair.
There are dozens.
sound like
of
my
you.
mom. Jeez.
Dozens.
Clean your room.
So we saw those two. The first alternate core option for both factions, and then of course I think the thing that I think I was probably most excited about was the 2 tanks that are coming out for both factions.
Man, oh man. Yeah. So I'm very excited for the AAT that the Separatists are getting.
Oh, yeah.
I was really hoping that they were going to have that early on as an option because, I mean, that's kind of a centerpiece model. That's a
Very
big
much
part
so.
of the Clone Wars TV and all that, so
Yep.
it makes sense.
And the Saber tank looks so cool. They
I'm-
look huge.
Yeah, they look big.
yeah.
I am still ruined for that crappy little Imperial Assault version. So all I see is that little weaker. I'll have to show it to you. It's horrible. It's like maybe a quarter of the size.
Of the Saber tank?
Yeah, but
Well-
it's got the same general shape.
Well, I didn't
It's-
play terrible games like Imperial Assault, so
It's
I'm
not
not
a terrible
ruined
game.
on that.
Hey, it's a good campaign.
Of course, last but not least, we had the preview of some terrain packs. One I'm super excited for. The other one, meh.
That pod looks freaking awesome.
It really does.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And
I-
the Imperial Bunker's good too. Come on, it's
It's
iconic.
It's iconic, but if I hadn't already seen like 3 how to build your own Imperial bunker terrain like DIY
Cool, how many did you
things,
build?
None.
Okay, there you
'Cause
go.
I don't really feel like, I don't find it to be that awesome of a piece of building. It's a very trapezoidal.
I find your lack of enthusiasm disturbing.
There is lack of enthusiasm. You are correct, Palp. The cool thing about it though is the fact you can pull the roof off and actually have the inside of it.
The interior looks great.
Yeah.
That's the best part of that. Out of all my Legion games, I haven't played anything where the interior buildings are really gameplay mechanic wise. You're now hiding.
Sure.
You're escaping line of sight. So
It sounds like something you probably want to build into a scenario.
Which I think they are because they announced that they're going to be cards
yeah.
with it. So that's cool. And I mean, it should probably be a fun game to play with the, the scenario cards. They proposed, oh, you can put them back to back and have 2 of them. It's like, yeah, you got $150 sitting around for 2.
Oh, hold on. We
That's
just got
the cost
some
of an army.
late breaking news here. Apparently, there's an operative Luke and Vader coming out.
Oh yeah. So, man, you can't stay on topic, can we? You just keep encouraging my ADD. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, because we didn't do the podcast last week, and they dropped it like on Friday anyway.
Yeah. We figure everybody's seen it already. I'm excited, but
oh yeah.
mostly I just wanted to yes, we've checked that box. Let's move on. Vader seems really cool.
Vader does seem really cool. Luke looks very good, but he looks
the
a little
sweet
too
salty
expensive,
tears of the
and
rebels that are not willing to pay 200 points for a.
Love the pose.
Yeah.
The card looks good, but just too expensive and not worth.
Oh, you'll play him and you'll like him.
A little overkill, to be honest with you.
I'm all aboard steroid Luke train.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you can play Son of Skywalker with him still. So
Yeah, that's cool.
with tenacity.
Yeah.
So I need to buy more dice.
needs more dice.
Apparently, I mean, I don't think you can kill things dead enough with that, but.
Their problem.
All right, so yeah, we checked that box. There we go.
There we go.
Back
Moving
to the
on.
back to the more timely news.
Yeah.
The AAT and the Saber tank both have side notches on their thing, which
I mean, they're hover vehicles. It makes sense.
yeah.
We can do a little
So
strafing.
yesterday we didn't know the rules for them. So initially when they did the announcement, that was one thing I saw. I'm like, they have side notches. Whoa! Like, can they do strafing or what? So we're like, Josh and I are.
Whoa.
Yeah, Josh and I are like just speculating all this stuff yesterday. So when the news actually came out today, we got a little bit more hard information on it. But anyway, so yeah, terrain packs. The escape pod looks awesome, but the thing I was most excited for was R2D2 and C3PO.
Wait, is R2D2 confirmed?
I mean, there's a
Yes.
picture of the little guy. So
I mean, sure, but that could be any droid. It's not painted up to look like R2. That could be an R5 or another R2. I'm say an R5. No, obviously R5s look different. Never mind.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's R2D2.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean,
you can paint him up however you want to be a different R2 droid if
Yay.
you want to, but I'm pretty sure that's meant
An
to be
unhinged
R2D2.
astromech droid from X-wing.
So we're gonna do a little bit of deep dive on what all those units do and what their cards, because of course, like I said, we had those revealed today.
Hooray!
But just initial thoughts on what we saw from the reveals and the scheduling. What do you think about it so far, Zach?
The reveals, I'm super excited. It gives me more than enough time to save up all my money now over the next half a year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah. So my wallet appreciates knowing in advance, okay, I need to put this away. I think every unit that got announced, I'm excited for. None of them seem particularly weak. None of them, I'm reading through the cards, I'm saying, either it just looks flat out awesome, I want that immediately, and then the whole schedule comes out, and it looks like I'll be playing with my core set guys for a quarter.
Yeah. That's something that
I really hope that they're either going to fill the gaps in with something else, because I feel bad for the Separatist guys, the CIS.
Well, I feel bad for both factions, really.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got enough points with the clones. They're not cheap troops, so you can fill up 800 points without, kind of shoehorning too much
Sure.
in there. I mean, you a couple weeks ago, you talked about the droid army, and basically they're like, yeah, if you max out every slot you get to about 600 points. So that seems like a lot of clutter and fill that you have to do to get to 800 right away.
For sure. And that was with no upgrades on anybody. So once you start slapping upgrades on stuff, you'll be able to fill those 800 points.
200 points of upgrade seems really bad.
So I don't remember exactly what the
heavies.
number
I want to
was.
say it was around 600, but just kind of riffing off the top there. But that's why I'm going back and formalizing my desire to play Trip Grievous. So
why not? He's a droid. They can
he's
manufacture
just a
more
cyborg
droids,
guy.
right?
It's fine.
No, I think that it's 712 points for the clones.
So that's a reasonable amount of upgrades. Like 80 points of upgrades, cool.
Yeah, that's all without upgrades. So that's 3 bark speeders and 6 clone trooper units in Obi-Wan. For the droids, what did I name them? I think it was a little bit over 600 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, 200 points of upgrades, maybe a little bit. 691.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad.
About 110 points.
That's not horrible.
I think you can do that. I mean, you slap a heavy weapon on every single core unit, and
makes sense.
1 or 2 things on Grievous, and that's probably going to be enough.
And I hope you're enjoying playing, 3 droidicas and.
Which honestly seems like
droids.
a cool list anyway.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that bad, but you're not going to have any room for
a giant
experimenting
tank
with your list or whatever. And I think that having 3 months to go, like if you remember when. A year ago when the initial starter set came out, we had Leia, we had Veers, we had Fleet Troopers, we had Snow Troopers, all within about a month and a half of the release. Plus,
it was pretty close, yeah.
You had ATSTs and Airspeeder on release. So you were able to field a few different options right away. Now, with the Clone Wars stuff, not only are you going to be kind of hamstrung for 3 months without any other options, but you're competing against 2 full-fledged factions. Two factions that already have a year's worth of products, variety of options, totally different commanders you can use to play them. It still will be fun to play them, but if you're bringing them to a competitive atmosphere, I think you're going to be at a disadvantage for a while.
You're not going to have the tricks that you can spring out, but what we're getting looks like rock solid, troops. They're not going to be having all the bells and whistles available. But hopefully with the timing, like by the time people are getting tired of playing just core set, that's when we're going to start seeing the new stuff showing up.
What are your thoughts, Zach? You look like you're
optimistically
stewing on this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it from the perspective of a new player who's jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
You go to community, you see people playing Star Wars on the table, you want to join in, you're like, yeah, I want clones or I want droids.
Well, there you go. You get clones and droids.
Okay, awesome. But in order to field 800, you're doing a significantly heavy investment that, honestly, you show anybody these tank models.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. Like you said, Matt, it's iconic.
Yeah.
they want to feel that right now. So are they even going to get up to 800 points prior to next
play
year?
500 for a couple of months, get to know the game, and then spring up to 800.
You're doing escalation leagues, you're doing lower point games.
Sure.
And not even playing the standard air
Hope we'll see
quotes.
some new operations for that.
And I think that there will probably be some stuff like that. A lot of that, I think, falls onto the community in which people are playing. And I personally know a few people who are planning on getting into Star Wars Legion with Clone Wars. Like, that's their buy-in,
Right.
okay? I also happen to know those people competitively, and I don't see them enjoying getting into a game where they're going to get their, stuff pushed in about, for the first, month, 2 months of the game.
I mean, you
and
got to
wanting
learn the
stick
game
with it.
somehow.
Absolutely, but that's what I'm saying. I think it falls on the community to kind of help adjust these players into the game, and don't just run out there like War Machine players and just, hey,
Be
guess
supportive.
what?
Don't
You need
American History X them.
yeah, exactly. Don't just treat them like they're oh, you're a noob, I'm going to stomp you, and you need to learn how you need to pay your dues. Like, training wheels, okay? And also, if you're an experienced player who's jumping over to one of these factions, have some patience. Don't expect you're going to be winning RPQs right off the bat with these factions.
Unless you do, and then
Yeah.
congratulations.
Sure, of course.
I wanna
Speaking
see
of
that.
RPQ coming up here in October, thank you for reminding me. I meant to say at the beginning.
Your ADD is off the
October.
charts
You
today.
are reminding me of things that I should have been saying. October 12th and 13th. Tickets are going, but
Take
still
notes
available.
and okay.
You said RPQ. That was salient.
That's fair. That's fair. There's no organization to this show whatsoever.
You're just now figuring this out.
Rhode Island, neither a road nor an island. Pick a
Discuss.
topic,
Yeah.
discuss. All right. So I think that it's just going to take a lot of patience for people to play these factions and to not expect that they're going to just be winning right off the bat.
It would be so much better if I could buy somebody a tank or a B2 and put that under the Christmas tree.
Well,
Agreed,
you'll be able
yeah.
to do that. That's Q1.
Is it?
No, that's
Wait. No, you're right.
when
Never
do
mind,
you
never
celebrate
mind.
Christmas?
Sorry.
What,
So I'm a little
fiscal
sick
calendar
today. I don't know
are
if
you using
noticed,
right now?
but, wait. Right. Never
At the
mind.
Turner household, we celebrate Yule.
I will bludgeon you to death with our decorative log.
All right, so that's the other thing too that I was going to bring up is, for any business, you understand that the prime shopping season is right before Christmas. That's the holiday season, and you want to have a lot of things available for Christmas. Yes, having the Clone Wars set, the box set by itself will be a great stocking stuffer, but I feel like people who are really into the game will probably have that by then.
Yep. Got you another box of Phase 1s. Enjoy.
Well, I mean, if you only have one, you don't have enough.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You're going to need more than one starter set if you want to field an army of one of these. But I think it'd be, better off if you had a few other things available for people to purchase for their Christmas presents. But again, we've got a gap. We've got a few gaps. I believe it was 6 gaps.
Yeah, it was quite a few.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe there will be some things. Maybe they decided to tease this stuff down the road and then have a few things to throw out
It's
there.
going to
before
repact
that.
veers and whatnot with the hard plastic.
Okay, that's a possibility.
A new multi-pose Boba Fett.
That would be cool. I'd be
Actually,
right with
that'd
that.
be really cool.
Yeah.
With that, but
Let's be real. We want Anakin.
Bananakin.
That. What if they also
Maul.
decided to bring out Maul and Anakin?
That would be
Because,
amazing surprise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're doing that.
like operative Anakin,
that's
operative
the
Maul.
only thing that makes sense right now.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Having Darth Maul on your field before Dooku. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That sells.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would love that. But I feel like those would be ones that they would tease.
I hope it's a
then-
multi-part where you can build him as like Episode 1, Phantom Menace Maul, and then also giant spider butt Maul.
Spider Butt Maul.
Drugged out Spider Butt Maul.
Yeah.
It's
So when
a
he
thing.
got chopped in half, he ended
Yeah.
up on, what is it, Dathomir?
Yep.
And somehow he had like giant spider butt with like
Like
legs.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style. Like
Even worse. It's
weird. So okay.
Wow, you don't know that.
it's
we
a
talked,
thing.
Remember we talked about in the
Yeah.
Clone Wars cartoon? I watched like 4 episodes and then
Oh man.
Disney yanked it from Netflix.
Oh right.
So
Well, I mean, it was only there for years
it
before.
was. Look, I'm not absolving myself
go.
of
Take a
guilt
look
on
at
here. What on earth?
Spider-Man.
That's what it looked like in the cartoon?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You look like a crazy arachnid.
Yeah.
All right.
We want that.
Yeah, multi-part, that'd be
FFG,
fine.
we want
Yeah.
that.
Was that what he was in Solo? I mean, they only showed
No. So that was basically he. Yeah, that was afterwards. Like the witches of Dathomir fixed him up, and he got his sanity back slowly.
Oh, okay.
That's when he went to go challenge Mandalore and all that stuff. But anyways, tangent.
Oh, I did see, in Rebels. I remember I saw the first 2 seasons of Rebels, and he was in Rebels,
Yes,
but he
was
didn't have a
very
spider
much
butt.
He did
This
not.
was prior.
That
Okay.
was him barely surviving, finding a way to, piece together. I actually don't even know the story of how he got the spider legs, but something happened.
All right,
He fell down a pit. That's what happens
One
when
of
you
our
fall.
listeners who knows how Darth Maul acquired the spider butt, please let us know.
Are you familiar with the story of
Of course not. The story of Jedi.
Darth
would
Maul,
tell you.
the spider butt?
It's not a story a Jedi would tell you. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and coming back, we're going to get into all the cards that got revealed.
So many cards.
And the rules guide, because we've got a lot of stuff coming out in the rules guide.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John, Matt, and Zach here with you, going through all the wonderful reveals.
I got
from
second
GenCon.
billing that time.
Look, I'm just trying to rotate it around.
Okay, I
Eventually, I'll
appreciate
put
it.
myself last.
No.
I just have to remind myself what my name is.
You're Outrider Prime, so.
All right, so we got all the reveals out of the way from GenCon, and of course today, because we were still reeling from the news releases, we got all of the card releases. So man, when it rains, it pours with FFG. You'll go 3 months without anything.
Well,
and then...
I think that's a negative connotation. I think it's more of a feast-famine scenario. So
Okay.
now we are feasting
Yes, well, we had a
from
famine
the
for
glut
long
of
enough.
information. Yes.
So let's go ahead and enjoy this.
But before we
feast.
get into this, before I hair off and
Okay.
interrupt, let me entreat. I said this months and months ago. Mm-hmm. If you guys are going to spoil the cards, just give us the cards. Let us see a decent version of them instead of trying to squint in at this 3/4 view.
No, dude, I honestly think that after they do one of these articles, they sit there and they just gleefully wait for us to speculate on everything. Like, these idiots.
I mean, do they want us to have the information or do they not? That's all I'm saying.
So much
They've
more-
got the little hyperlinks in their articles that we can bring up some of the cards. If you're going to put them on screen,
I think they're very strategic about how they lay things out.
About jerking us
let's-
around.
Let's reveal just one letter and watch them speculate as to
I mean,
what it
that's
is.
fine. If it's not one they don't want to fully, but like the troop cards, I've got it up on the laptop right now. I cannot read any of that.
You just have to be able to zoom enhance.
See, why can't I just have a nice clear text?
Anyways, let me enlighten you, okay? We're going to do
I'm
this
done
together.
channeling Josh. Let's move on.
All right, so the first one we got revealed was Count Dooku, and man, people wanted some alternative options to Grievous. This dude plays in a totally different way than Grievous. So right off the bat, looks about 205 points, 3 force powers or 4 slots, and is that a command or is that tactics? Or,
That's command.
Command, yeah, there we go. Command. So here's what he's got: 6 health, 3 courage, red dice defense save, surge to crit. For weapons, then this is interesting. So he's got Dooku's lightning. So he's got force lightning, kind of like Palp does. Range 1 to 2, 5 black, pierce 1, and scatter. And then his lightsaber is, of course, melee. 5 red dice, impact 2, pierce 2. So it's basically Vader's saber minus 1 die. And then he's got Palp's lightning, which, I mean, dang, that's really good.
How many points is he?
205 points. So he's expensive.
He's pricey.
Yeah, he's very pricey. He's got cunning, deflect. So do we know what cunning does? Did they reveal that yet? Or is that in RRG? We'll have to come back to that.
I'm sure it's in there.
So he's got deflect, immune to pierce, just like every other lightsaber wielder. Makashi Mastery. So this says, and I'm gonna go by what I can see here while zoom enhance.
I can see pierce. Yeah.
While performing a melee attack, you may reduce the pierce value of your melee weapon by 1. If you do, the defender cannot use immune to pierce.
Or impervious.
Or what?
Or impervious as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It just says cannot use immune to pierce. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So in the rules guide, it actually says that you cannot use impervious keyword either.
Yep. So Boba and Sabine, it was a nice while it lasted.
That's huge.
Dooku says get wrecked.
I mean, you're basically talk about Grievous being Jedi Hunter. You add this guy in there with his ability to just get rid of immune to pierce, and that's going to seriously hurt.
That's
Luke
cool, though.
Bliss.
Everyone.
Yeah.
That there's so much flavor in that rule that I love because he's supposed to be this badass lightsaber duelist. So good, we got rules to represent that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Totally polar opposite from Obi-Wan, whereas Obi-Wan is a really good defensive Jedi. This guy is just he's basically there to wreck Jedi.
Which also makes sense since he trained Grievous to be a Jedi hunter and all that stuff. Yeah, I love it.
Yep. So between the Force lightning, the Vader.
So it goes down to
stats.
pierce 1, but they lose immune to pierce. So you're only piercing 1 at that point, but they're rolling blocks for the rest of it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which
Seems
if,
all right.
If you're going against Sabine or Luke or Boba Fett, that can make a huge difference. And then of course Master the Force too. So in case you're trying to throw reflexes on him or
I mean, we all saw what happened to Django, so that makes sense. Impervious didn't work so well there.
No, not so much. Thoughts? What do you think? Do you think he's if you're starting a droid army, who do you want to go with? You want to go with Dooku or Grievous? It's too expensive to do both, right?
It is too expensive to do both.
Or is it?
This coming from the man who's still desperately trying to make Vader and Palpatine.
Well, with the operative Vader, I'm absolutely going to give that a second go.
It's worth it.
It's close. I honestly like Dooku better at this point.
Yeah.
I like his keywords, just the flavor. I mean, looks-wise, both sculpts are amazing, but just look how he's holding that lightsaber out, and it's the curved hilt, and it's just...
Plus, who doesn't want to use Christopher Lee?
I know, right?
Yeah.
But you do lose a lot of mobility.
Yeah, he's got...
Count Dooku is a stately gentleman who does not run.
But he still has movement, too.
He's still got movement, too.
I mean, that's respectable. It's not Vader.
He gets on his little bike and goes...
He's a spry old man.
Yeah. It's not the same as scuttling Grievous, though.
True, very true. I think he's a great commander, and with while he's expensive, I think the droid army is the army that can afford to give a few points because their troops are so cheap, or they can be so cheap. Should you choose to run them that way? So that's the first big reveal, and I think that's a pretty
great one.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch on his command card?
Yeah. So his command card, can you read that one, or do you want me to pull it up?
Sure. So his command card is kind of building on the scatter from his lightning, but it is, let's see, it's a 3-pip called You Disappoint Me. It gives Count Dooku in 2 units orders. It says when Count Dooku issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 dodge token. After Count Dooku performs a range attack against a trooper unit, he may perform a speed 2 move with that unit.
Yeah, that's strong. So you're basically adding like a force push plus the ability to give every unit that Luke Skywalker's the Force is my ally, where he's just giving every unit that gets an order a dodge token.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you're basically throwing a unit away after it gets attacked with the range. I mean, it's strong. It's a good 3-pip card. So I think that just adds to his playability. All right, so we good on Dooku?
Yeah, I like him.
All right, let's talk Captain Rex here. So Captain Rex is awesome because he totally is the economical choice between he and Obi-Wan. It's hard to tell on here, but it looks like 90 points.
I'm guessing 90.
Maybe...
Is this going to be a Chewbacca 110 issue?
Well, it could be. It looks it's or it's double digits. It's not triple digits. So
Okay.
I'm guessing it's 90 points. He's got a command upgrade. He's got a 2 gear upgrade slots. Does that look right? A grenade upgrade slot.
Yep.
First commander we've seen with a grenade upgrade. That's kind of cool. And a training upgrade. He's got 5 health, 2 courage. So not exactly, a powerhouse in that sense. However, he surges to crit, 2 movement. He's got a range 1 to 2 blaster that throws 3 red dice, which is awesome. And then he's got melee that does 2 red dice, so that's still pretty good. Gunslinger. So Gunslinger and Sharpshooter 1. So basically what we had with Han Solo, where you've got, the ability to run up there and drop 2 units like that. Except for Han Solo is only throwing 2 red dice.
Right.
I mean, he's shooting 3.
But he doesn't have the Pierce as well.
True. Yeah, the Pierce kind of does make up for that. Now he gets Scout 1 and Scouting Party 2. That says, now after you use Scout, choose up to 2 friendly troopers at range 1 to 2. Each unit may perform a move with a speed equal to your Scout value. So you're basically saying, 2 of your buddies come along with me. So that's cool. So you're adding a lot of synergy with your other units, because you do kind of need to keep close to your other guys in order to maintain that fire support. And Tactical 1. And did we see what Tactical was? All right, so Cunning and Tactical, we need to make sure we come back to those so we can figure out what those were in the rules guide.
All I can think about with that scouting party is Alan Rickman and Robin Hood. You, 10. You, 10:30. Bring a friend.
I just think of eating your heart out with a spoon.
Why a spoon?
And then, of course, we got one of his command cards previewed as well. We are not programmed. So that's a 3 pip card, but he's throwing out 4 clone trooper order tokens. So it's cool. That's a lot of order control.
It's not an entire legion, but it's most of it.
So he gains Inspire 2 and 2 Surge tokens, and when Clone Captain Rex activates, he recovers. So that's cool. Adds a little versatility to it, and he seems like he's more of a commander option, that works well with his troops as opposed to Obi-Wan, who's just kind of there to defend them, and a lot cheaper. Man, way cheaper. Of course, red dice saves as well, so just like along with the rest of the clones, it's a pretty good option.
So tacticals, when a unit moves, then they gain an aim token.
Oh, nice.
So he's gained aim tokens out the wazoo. Who knows how he's going to be getting surge tokens as well. He's moving up with his buddies. They're all sharing all those tokens.
I was going to say, can you scout and give aim tokens? Do you get the tactical when you do the scout move?
So that's not considered a move action. It's considered a move. What does tactical do?
That's cool.
No.
Read tactical again.
So tactical will give them a name token. That was actually just added this morning.
Oh, well, there you go.
But so the tactical X keyword allows the unit to gain a number of aim tokens equal to X each time that unit performs a Sarin move. With the change this morning, it also states a unit with tactical X keyword that performs a standard move during the deployment phase, such as using the Scout X keyword, it gains X aim tokens.
That's pretty sweet. So you can scout in position, and then
I already have aims.
You can also aim and shoot and double aim and all that.
I mean, is he really going to need aims, though?
Nah,
because he's throwing 3 red dice that have surge crit.
So
the chances of him needing an aim is slim, but it's nice to have either way.
You don't want to miss droids, all right?
That's fair.
You shoot them, you want them down, they stay down.
I prefer clankas.
I hope they have the option to throw a different head on there. I mean, the helmet he has is cool.
It would make sense. Yeah, it would absolutely make sense to have an unhelmeted version.
Yeah.
He's going to blend in with my army of clones on the field without that, honestly.
That's true. But he's got like dual pistol wielding stance, so
kind of get the Simon Phoenix haircut from Demolition Man.
I've never seen Demolition Man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know.
Wesley Snipes had dyed blonde hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. All right. So those are the commanders we had revealed. So I think they're both very playable options. I think depending on how I want to build my clone troopers, I think that he might be a better option just because clones are so expensive anyway. And, he's a way cheaper option than Obi-Wan. Definitely plays differently, I would think. I mean, we still have to see how his order cards come out, but Pretty cool.
I'd still play Obi-Wan.
Honestly, I would too, just because I like Obi-Wan better, and the pose that Obi-Wan has is awesome.
The Negotiator. What about you, Zach? I know you're going to be playing clones.
I like clones, so I can't wait for Rex.
Ah.
I'll play Obi-Wan until clones come out, and even if he's horrible, hey, it's 90 points, and he seems pretty decent just with those keywords.
Yeah, he's got a lot of room for upgrades too, so that's kind of cool.
Neat.
All right, so we got 2 other core units that were previewed, the Phase 2 Troopers and the B2 Battle Droids. The Phase 2 Clone Troopers, a lot of people were speculating that, well, if you got Phase 1 listed, this probably means you're going to have Phase 2. And
We went straight to Phase 5.
No big surprises on these. They do have 2 courage, which is cool. 1 health. Were the original clone Phase 1? Were they 2 courage as well? Or were they 1 courage?
I can check.
Okay. I'll go through the rest of the cards. So they've got the upgrade options for heavy, regular trooper, training, gear, and grenades. 60 points for 4 guys. Fire support, just like the other ones, and then reliable 1. So at the start of the activation phase, gain 1 surge token. That's cool. So I mean, you're basically guaranteeing yourself one surge per turn. Black dice, 3 range, black dice and melee as well. Nothing, I guess, overly shocking over Phase 1 troopers. It doesn't look like a little more expensive. 52 points for the original ones. They did not have the reliable keyword, of course, and they only have 1 for the courage. So you're getting an extra courage value and the reliable keyword for an extra 8 points. No, it seems worth it. I don't know if it's a must-have upgrade over Phase 1 troopers. What are your thoughts being a clone player?
Other than the scopes looking super awesome, I just want to see what those heavies do and what's going on with that mortar. Because one of the heavies, you can kind of see it, and I think it's for the mortar, but it says range 2 to 4, critical 1, suppressive, and cumbersome. So I'm assuming that is that mortar guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And you can see just one little black die poking out there. So I don't know how many they're going to have total, but it's not all white dice like we have with the short troopers.
I want to say that crouching Z6 guy, though, that's taken from the Star Wars The Old Republic, one of the intro movies. Mm-hmm. I swear that's how one of the guys starts out, just in a low profile.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I do like that one. And he doesn't have a helmet. We did get announced that they are going to be on sprues, too, so should be more posable.
Hopefully some options.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I would absolutely put a helmet on him.
Yeah. Well,
He's too valuable not to have a helmet.
As a Space Wolves player, the more people without helmets, the better.
Well, you get beards to replace them. They don't have beards.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically what we had revealed for those guys. And then their analog, of course, being the B2 battle droids. And I'm pretty stoked that they're actually core troopers. I thought they were going to be an elite choice. So the fact that they're core is cool. And they seem to play a lot differently than the B2 or the B1 battle droids. Instead of being 6 guys in a unit base, these guys are only 3 in a unit. It's hard to tell point value. It looks like 48. Could be 40, but I think it's 48. Armor 1, which that's the first trooper choice we've seen that has armor. That's cool. White dice saves, though, so I guess that kind of makes up for it. They don't surge for anything, so yeah, that's kind of rough. 2 health and 2 courage, though, so that kind of makes up for it. Their weapons, they've got range 1 to 2, 1 black, 1 white for their arm cannons, and in close combat they do 1 black die. They have a comms upgrade, they've got a heavy weapons upgrade, and an additional trooper upgrade. So, heavy weapon options, Zach, what are we looking at for that?
So there are 2 heavy weapons options. The first one is a B2 HA trooper. It looks like we got range 2 to 3, 2 red, 1 white. Gets blast, a keyword called cycle. Don't know what that does yet, and impact 2.
At least 1 white. It could be
At least,
it
yes.
could be 2 white.
Yeah.
But we can see at least the 2 red and the 1 white. Man, having range 2 to 3 and having blast is pretty awesome. Being able to
That is
ignore
pretty
cover
good.
from that range,
Yeah.
because we've not seen anything that extends blast out that far, right? I think the furthest thing we've seen is the ATST which grenade launcher, which it only goes to range 2.
Range 2.
So being able to eliminate cover at range 3 is pretty good.
Unless you're yeeting a flamethrower trooper way out front.
Yeah. So we don't know if that's going to be exhausting. Doesn't have that on there. But having impact 2 and then cycle. What does cycle do? Do we know?
We
that
don't know.
yet?
Don't know that one yet.
We know it says at the end of your something.
I'm hoping it's something like exploding crits or something.
Yeah.
You just keep cycling your weapon.
Well, it says at the end of your something, if you did not use this something. So you want to speculate on that all you want. I don't know. This is another example of FFG just giving us a little bit and probably laughing at us as we're
I wonder if
trying to
it'd be
figure out.
something like it isn't exhaustible, but if you don't use it the next round, it'll automatically refresh on its own.
That's a good speculation, yeah.
I like that.
And then the other one that we see, this is the B2 ACM Troop something, range 1 to 2, at least 3 red die. So
Yes.
that's cool. Honestly, because of the fact that their normal weapons are range 1 to 2, I kind of feel like you would be better taking something like this because...
These guys are champs.
Well,
I like these guys a lot.
The B2HA, I mean, it sounds good having the blast range 2 to 3, but if you're trying to shoot at something at range 3, he's the only weapon that can shoot.
True.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, if you're trying to get maximum value out of, having all of your guys shoot, at least those other ones, you're getting everything at range 1 to 2.
Oh, you didn't see the configure reel card where they can flip it over to have wrist rockets?
Is that
No,
a thing?
it's not a thing.
I mean, I was gonna say, I didn't see it. That would be kind of big news if it did.
I made it up.
I mean, who knows? They had a grenade slot or an unrevealed grenade, so maybe there's a new grenade that's coming out with that.
I'm getting really heavy Fleet Trooper vibes where you'll have a majority of B1s and then 1 or 2 B2 units in there just to push that close combat.
Yep, and they do have the AI attack. They don't have this droid, the B1 ability to pass
the whole
order
synergy.
Tokens. Yeah. So maybe if you're doing a close combat force and you want to spread out a little bit, and you say you're bringing Dooku, so you want to get right up in there in their grill right away, this might be a better supporting option. But
this is 4 models base, right?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 48 points, 3. So you're looking at what, 16 points a model?
16. Yep.
So that's expensive for a troops choice.
I mean, they seem real good though.
For a core choice, they do seem good. Yeah. Whether or not the white dice without any surge is going to hurt them on defense. I mean, having 2 health is nice, and having armor. If you get them behind heavy cover and they've got a dodge token, you need 4 shots to get into them to even affect them.
Laughs in DLT.
But they look like they're going to play a lot differently than B1s, and I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the thing everyone's been waiting for, these tanks here, because I think these.
Are you sure? I thought people were waiting for the dewback.
Okay, well, unless you're at GenCon.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about tanks. You're welcome.
For somebody who's been obsessed with trying to make ATSTs and airspeeders work,
let's
be real.
I mean, now it's dewbacks, man.
Now you're all about the dewbacks.
All about them dewbacks.
All right, so the TX-138 Saber class fighter tank is the
Mouthful.
first. Yeah, right. Well, all the vehicles are. They just try to throw number and letter salad in there before the actual tank.
Texas 130 super duper tank.
It's the Saber. All right, it's the Saber class fighter tank. This thing is a doozy. So it looks like 170 points, I'm guessing. Upgrades for a number of things. Do we know what all those icons are yet? Because it's got a few things that I'm like, I don't recognize that icon. But, all right, so we know it's got a driver. There's a driver option. Mm-hmm. It has a heavy weapon upgrade option, it looks like. Or is it a turret option?
I don't know.
Well, we're going to get some messages about this later.
Yeah, sure. Everybody's going to
all the cards that they're also showing, like there's at least one of each. So one looks like a pilot, one looks like their main cannon, one looks like a different type of weapon.
I just noticed Ayla
and
Sakura
then
on there.
communications, because it can do HQ uplink.
Yep.
Yeah.
So first of all, the gun that actually comes with it is the twin lateral BABR or 6A 6R. I'm not sure.
Babar, the
laser
little
cannon.
elephant.
It's a cannon.
It is 2 red, 2 black, 2 white, range 1 to 4, critical 1, impact 2, fixed front. So, ouch. That's a doozy of a weapon.
Yes.
Basically, it's an ATST cannon if the ATST had the option to, crit 1 and had range 1 to 4. The vehicle itself is red dice saves, so that's pretty cool. Health 9 and 6 before it breaks.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. Not as much health as an ATST, but I mean, at that point, how many vehicles are really doing that much damage?
It's that red defensive dice, man. Yeah.
It has armor with no number behind it, so it's just straight up armor.
I feel like we've talked about this before, but can you give surges to a vehicle?
I haven't seen anything that does yet.
I think we were saying it was just troops, but we don't know for sure.
It has a surge token.
Never mind.
Yeah, it has one with it, so I'm not sure if we see anything that does. I'm sure someone's going to correct us for being wrong on that. Hover. So the hover rule for ground, it says that you can reverse, strafe, and standby, and you are treated as a ground vehicle by other units.
It's cool.
So that's
Super
awesome.
cool.
It means you can take cover.
Way more maneuverable than a ATSD now.
Yep, and kind of happy it doesn't have the compulsory move. That's kind of good.
Yeah.
Outmaneuver. You can spend dodge tokens to cancel crit results, I believe. So that's awesome. So you can take dodges. You can pass dodges out, right? So as if having the red dice save wasn't enough, you can
Oh, also you can get a
cancel.
Jedi tank commander. So.
And then the one drawback to this is got weak point with weak point 1 sides and rear. So you definitely don't want your opponent getting around this thing because it's it
with
can do
the
some
ability to
damage.
hover, hopefully it'll be a little bit tougher for them to get the flank.
That's true. Yeah, and having those the side movements, it moves to base, so that's cool. Do we know if the keywords for strafe, if it still moves full?
Not yet.
Okay. So, that may move slow. I would assume it would probably move a little slower strafing than it would just moving
move one.
full forward. We got a full view of one of the pilots, but it's kind of tough to see what it all does. It looks like it says you gain Inspire 2 and Field Commander, which looks like it says after a friendly... Oh, boy. Suppressed, maybe? Sorry, after a friendly something card is played.
After a friendly... Oh, God.
Something command card.
Command card is played. You may be...
Treated as a commander?
Recommended as a commander.
Oh, probably after...
Like, treated as a commander, essentially.
Oh, okay. So does that mean that could be your commander for your unit? Or is that after...
That's kind of what I was hoping when I
think
saw
so.
it was Ayla Sakura, who is a Jedi Master that was leading clones.
Oh, you were actually serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell if you're serious half the time.
Well, I mean, that is just... I'm trying to be entertaining, sir. Jesus, give me a little space.
You are entertaining. That's why usually when you
No.
say things,
This is legit. Like, I didn't know this
okay.
before we sat down, and my mind is going crazy right now.
So that's a 5-point upgrade. That's awesome.
Droids have a similar guy, so yep. Field commander tanks are a thing.
Whew.
Okay.
Love it. I mean, it's not Obi-Wan on a Varactyl, but I will take this too.
You got Grievous rushing in, and the whole army's still good with the command bubble.
So does it have... I'm trying to figure this out now. So can you take this as your commander to begin with, or does this if your commander falls?
Need
in
more
battle?
data.
Yeah, we'll have to look up the field commander word on that because that's pretty crazy,
FFG, can we get more pixels?
right?
Oh, nice to see you're crossing to my side of the fence.
Yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to figure out yet, and I'm sure that somebody
that's
probably knows. But
huge.
yeah, that is really big. And then the AT or the AAT droid tank. Let's get into that one right now.
Pull that up.
Also looks like it's 170 points. So this one has the AI attack rule, which carries over from the droids that we've seen so far. Full armor, Arsenal 2, so you're going to be able to shoot both your weapons that you've got on there so far. This one's got Barrage. Now, the Barrage special rule says if you do not use Arsenal during your activation, you can perform up to 2 attack actions. So, say you want to use your main cannon twice instead of, firing 2 different weapons, there you go.
So is this the only unit in the game then that can make 2 attack actions outside of a command card?
I believe so.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, other than... Well, no, because Gunslinger is only 1 action. So, yeah. Hover, ground, same rules, the saber. Weak point to rear. So this one doesn't have the options or the problems on the sides, but this one you just don't want to get your opponent get you in the rear. 9 health, red dice saves, 6 wounds before it breaks. So similar, a little slower. This one moves at speed 1. Now the main cannon on this thing, the artillery laser cannon, range 2 to 4, 4 red, critical 2, high velocity, impact 1. So high velocity.
High velocity.
You can't spend dodges.
Right.
So you're getting 2 shots at this thing if you don't use the other weapon as well.
So 8 red dice coming in hot.
8 red dice, critical 4 then, right? And then high velocity and impact 2.
This is a tank killer. It's a Jedi killer too.
Yeah. And then the other weapon, the lateral anti-personnel lasers, that's range 1 to 2, 3 red dice, or 3 black dice, and fixed front.
You got a little pew-pew if you need it.
Not nearly as good.
No.
Oh, the other thing to keep in mind, too, that main laser cannon, not locked down to your front arc.
It's on a turret.
That's a turret.
Yeah.
So you can shoot that baby in any direction. That's huge. That's going to make up for the lack of the maneuverability of this thing. So that's.
Oh, you also missed on the weak point too. There, it also has weak point Gungan. So, Boomas specifically.
So that's pretty huge. Now the cards that we can actually see that it can upgrade. So this one's got a field commander as well, and this one for 5 points.
Is that a T series or F series tactical droid?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep. You lose the AI attack
That's
detriment,
nice.
which is awesome. So if you're worried about, because of course the AI attack, it says that unless you have a face-up order token, your first action must be an attack if able. So and that really restricts you if you don't want to attack right away. And having this guy basically gets rid of that. So I think that's well worth the 5 points, in addition to the field commander rule. So pretty awesome. There's a few weapons upgrades that we can see on it. A couple of them are range 2 to 4. The one's 2 to 3. We've got one that's 1 to 2. Has
Something
blast.
that says armor something. I'm going to say piercing, but
Yep. So we're not exactly sure what all those do yet.
They all have that cycle keyword.
Yep.
Interesting.
So we'll leave that up to speculation for a later episode because that's that's stuff we can go over. But either way, like that's a lot of reveals that we got on those guys.
Boy.
All right. So which are you more excited for? Which tank?
I want to love them both, John. Why you make me choose?
You can only choose one.
I mean, so I like the look of the AAT, but I love that you can get Aayla Secura as a commander for the Saber. And they both seem real good.
I mean, it's always important to be able to drive up close so you can hit it with your sword, right?
Yeah,
that's the most important thing of a tank.
Driver, bring me closer so I can lightsaber these bitches.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most important thing, with a with a tank coming from a 40K background.
Yeah, right.
It's always important to be able to drive up and hit it with your chainsword. That's the sole purpose of a Lehman Russ is to move your commander closer.
Please, sir, we are more elegant people. It's a power sword.
Oh, it's true. Well, no, a lot of the field
The commanders?
Yeah,
well, the
commanders
sergeants
have
will
the
have the chain swords. If you're a tank commander, you've got a power sword.
That might be true. It's been a while since I've played. I don't know, 8th edition rules and all.
I just know the picture you're talking about really well. But anyways.
That's fair. All right, so that pretty much wraps up all the cards that we had revealed. From
How many
those.
tanks are you going to play, Zach?
However many I can afford.
Really?
Yes.
You're just going to throw down with the minimum clones and then tanks?
I think I'm going to try a 2-tank list with clones first, and if I love it, then I'm going to be
That's spicy, man.
over. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, speaking of how much you can afford, this one thing that I wanted to bring up that was a point of consternation for some people. Prices have gone up with everything.
Sure.
Across the board. The expansions that were coming out for, troop expansions were usually $25, and now they're up to $35. And then I didn't see what was Dooku's price point.
I think
it
it's
was
still
still
like
$12.95.
Okay,
yeah.
so we didn't see any,
hold on, I
any bump up
actually
from that.
have
But
that open.
all the options for the troop expansions, the tanks are up to $60 now instead of $50.
Right.
Right.
So those went up.
But
a
I mean,
little
they're
bit.
moving to the hard plastic, so it's going to be a higher quality model, hopefully. And it's a more expensive process because they're doing the mold injected plastic.
Yeah,
And should be better for detail work.
I'm fine with it. It doesn't, it doesn't bother me. Also, because having played a lot of GW games, I look at
It's still a bargain.
Going back and looking at GW now, like because they bumped the prices up recently again.
Yeah.
So looking at that, I'm like,
$180 for like the big kits now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so happy I'm playing Legion.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what today lost in all of this discussion of the reveals, it's Tauntaun and
Oh yeah!
True.
I mean, we do have cards for the shore troopers and dewbacks if we want to.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
gonna get to
cool,
that.
cool,
Yep. So, lost amongst all of the new stuff coming out. Like I'm buying 3 Rebel Vet packs and 3 Tauntauns today, and I'm getting that for probably the price of a Imperial Knight, GW. So. It's still nice playing Legion. It still feels a lot better when you walk out with a whole bunch of models as opposed to one for the same price.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, B2 is 35. Phase 2 clones 35. Where's Dooku in them? I'm pretty sure it's the 1295.
Okay.
Though.
Yep.
So either way, I mean,
Yeah, there's Dooku 1295. So single models are still
less than half of
super
what you would
cheap.
pay for a GW
for a quarter
single
of your
model.
army.
Yeah. So yeah, the other things we got revealed today were, and this wasn't even an official thing. This was just some people who left GenCon with their dewbacks and shore troopers.
Yeah.
They revealed the rest of the cards for those. So let's go into it right away. The DF-98 Mortar Trooper. So this was the kit that came along with the shore troopers. 3 health, 2 courage, red die save, same as normal. Here's the rules for the mortar. Range 3 to 4, 3 white dice, critical 1, cumbersome, suppressive, fixed front. Not exactly what we were expecting for the mortars, I think. It's a pretty restrictive donut of effectiveness. With a lot of people thought it was just going to be the ATST mortar, which is of course range 4 to wherever.
Right.
So reach out and touch anyone across the board. This one is a little bit more restrictive. It's still a fairly large bubble, though, when you think about it. It's got Sentinel from range 1 to 3, so essentially only range 3. Fire support still has that keyword, full pivot and reposition, so it's got some playability.
36 points. Not horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
You should be able to pick a target most of the time.
Is it the must-take option everyone was thinking? No. No.
Oh no, we have options.
Yeah, and it's good. Don't let me.
Critical 1's pretty sweet.
Don't think I'm poo-pooing this. Yeah.
Suppressive is sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fire support's good, and if you just pop it back there and throw Sentinel on it, just daring. If you're playing Rebels, because Rebels don't have anything that can really do anything at range 4. If you're just waiting for them to come into range 3, that's not a terrible option to throw throw a standby on there with Sentinel. And the shore troopers were fully revealed before, right? The card itself.
Yep.
Now, as far as upgrades, we got the T-21B Trooper, range 1 to 4, 2 black, 2 white, critical 1 for 32 points. So good. I mean,
I'm pretty excited for the shore troopers. Yeah.
I'm sure you are. As somebody who's pretty much just dedicated themselves as an
Yeah,
Imperial
I'm pretty
player
much
now.
going Imperial now. I got to fill in Josh's void,
Right.
so to speak.
Oh, if you were listening to that. Did we really need more range 1 to range 4
That's their shtick,
stuff for
man.
Imperial,
This
though?
is the Empire's niche, is they have long-range fire support.
And a lot of suppression. A lot of stuff that gives
Yeah.
suppression.
You get synergy, we get long range. That's the deal.
And I'm not, I'm not somebody who's going to decry a whole lot of, Rebels didn't get this or Imperials didn't get this. But when you've got Death Troopers that are as devastating at range 2 as they are, and then you've got everything else in your faction list that can kill everything at range 4, it really kind of hurts as a Rebel player.
I mean, come on. It's Rebel players. You're going to be... What's more rebellious than, running from cover to cover and, having explosions going around you? And
It's just... I hate to have the play style dictated by where the terrain's going to be. Having having a lot of terrain,
that's
and
the
I
game.
like having a lot of terrain.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just my play style anyway. I enjoy having to do that iconic run from building to building.
Sure.
But look at the
We
tables
got
at
lots of
GenCon.
peers. You're fine.
Did you
You're
see
there
the
to kill
GenCon
troopers.
tables?
I saw a couple pictures.
Not a lot of terrain.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
again,
there's
were
some,
these
but-
finished terrain tables?
I
Were
think
these-
so.
Okay.
I'm not positive, but
We've been down this road before, is all
sure.
I'm saying.
I don't like having the competitiveness of a game or the balance of a game dictated on something as malleable as terrain.
You're at a tournament. Turns out they're running a little bit low for a few of those tables. So
You're on the
it's
bottom tables anyway, so who cares?
tough luck.
Yeah, it's something that I noticed with the amount of range 4 stuff coming out. So, and then of course the do-back upgrades, and this is cool. Like they got some good options. The CR-24 range flame rifle. This is the flamer. The flamer do-back, and the picture on it's pretty awesome. It's basically like a do-back
Why are you
emerging.
sighing like that, Zach? What's wrong with you, buddy?
Up close, the dewbacks are scary. At range 4, still the same.
Yeah, they're scary in both regards. Which, you know what, this is a good analog for ATRTs because ATRTs are the same thing. They have the flame option, which is really good. We've seen lists built out exclusively
Right.
around that. And then, the rotary cannon's great. I prefer the rotary cannon. For a while, the laser cannon was great. They have a lot of options, and I feel like the do-backs have
Laser
the same
cannon
thing.
might be great again with all the vehicles hitting the table.
And with having limited range 4 options for Rebels, if you're trying to play a gunline list for Rebels, absolutely, that's probably the best option. So 1 black, 1 white, spray, blast, 20 points, good upgrade.
It's pretty good.
If you want to run some close combat, up close and personal do-backs, because they got do-backs are no slouches in close combat. That's a great option. The RT-97C blaster rifle. This one's range 1 to 4, 15 points, so super cheap. 1 red, 3 white, pretty good. And the number.
It's going to be tough. I want to play with all these options.
Yeah, and the number of things that Imperials have that give aim, those white dice aren't that bad.
No, absolutely not. Which brings us to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. The T-21 blaster rifle. This one's only 10 points, so even cheaper upgrade.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at it compared to the ATRT, because ATRT you've only got, 28 points I think for the flamer, or 22 points for the flamer maybe.
Something like that.
25, 30,
Yeah,
and then
25, 30, 35. That's what
There
it was.
we go.
Thank you. So these are way cheaper than the ATRT upgrades. Granted, ATRT surges a crit, so they got that going for it. But yeah, 1 to 3 range, 4 white dice, critical 2. Pretty awesome.
I'm trying to think of ways that maybe we can get the surge tokens on these guys too, just to guarantee some crits.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if it'd be worth it, but something we could play with.
This one right here has got critical 2, so that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
do dewbacks have relentless?
You said doo-doo bags.
Yeah.
Dewbacks.
We're doing Dooku jokes today, not.
Okay, I'm trying to remember now. Do they have relentless or
Yeah,
not?
I forget. It's been so
So
long
I'm
since I looked
thinking-
at them.
All right, yeah. You pull that up.
Spur,
Yeah,
spur,
let me grab it.
and then flames, and imagine a front line of flamer dewbacks.
No.
Supported
Okay.
with
Yes.
some snow troopers with flames.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
That's real strong, and especially if you're running, Vader or operative Vader, some commander.
So
who,
it
somebody
is
who
a
wants to get up
support.
close.
Bringing it up now.
So they're all 3 playable options. I think that's.
Oh, good. It's real small.
It'll be nice to have some variety of do-backs out there.
Speed 1, though.
Speed 1, but like
yeah,
you said,
spur.
they have
Yeah.
spur,
Yeah.
so that's good. And really, that movement is really most important if you're running the flame. If you're running the other 2, they're kind of a mobile weapons platform more than anything else.
If I sound bitter, it's just because the model looks so cool, and I'm never gonna get it.
Yeah.
Do what I do,
I
man.
mean, I'm sacrificing my Tauntaun Riders, which I was screaming for since day 1. Here I am not getting Tauntaun Riders.
I fully
There
intend
you go.
I fully
Yeah.
intend to have both because I don't know. apparently
Reposition,
have nothing better to
Relentless,
spend money on.
Armor 1, Spur, Unhindered.
There we go.
Okay.
3 red, 3 white. And so about 90 points, so a little over 100 points to get a weapon upgrade.
ATRT range. Right around there.
Yeah. So, and nobody's using the ATRT for the weapon that's on there already anyway. If you're running it naked, it's not because of the pistol.
Make notch to notch a thing.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Somebody's out there doing notch to notch on a do-bag. Never recommend that.
Get the hose. They're locked up again. We're moisture farmers. This seems like a waste. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for both of these guys. They are definitely going to make their way into my Imperial forces.
All right, before we get out of here, because we got a little bit more to talk about yet. I know this has been like one of our longest episodes ever, but again, FFG, this it rains of pores.
Feast or famine.
Feast or famine.
Yeah.
The rules guide came out. We've gone through a lot of the ones for the clone stuff, and that was mostly what the upgrade or the updates were for that. But we did get a few bonuses to some units that are near and dear to my heart, Jin and the Pathfinders. So, Danger Sense got a little bit of rewording. Do you got that handy, Zach?
I don't have it right in front of me, but essentially, Danger Sense used to only work against range attacks.
Yep.
And now it works against melee attacks. So
that's awesome. That's that can be. I've had enough situations where she got punched to death by stormtroopers, and it feels real bad because like no, I got all this suppression built up. It's supposed to help me. You're not supposed to punch me. And
no.
Yeah, I appreciate having that ability to do that. It adds a lot of playability to both her and Pathfinders, and they're units that kind of need it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's not groundbreaking. It's not going to make her a must-play model, but
it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. And I know how much Matt loves Jin, the Pathfinders, right?
What did they do to help out the ATSTs?
They gave them a whole bunch of cool pilots.
They gave them a good pilot.
Weapons being broken, no more, things like that. So, yes, they have
okay, so everything all the far superior tanks are getting also.
Well,
now everybody got it.
Okay. Now
ATST is more playable than the airspeeder. Let's be real.
I mean, that's true.
So you're not the best model. You know what? And that's one thing that's great about this game is they've done a good job of upgrading things without just flat out being like, well, we just need to rework this entire thing. Like they found little ways to throw some,
I'm thinking they're working their way towards that though. Honestly, especially with some of the Gen 1 stuff. Yeah, we could use a balance pass, I think.
Well, okay.
I like the nudges. Those are definitely better than not, but anyways.
Look, you got a more playable Vader coming. So that's pretty good for you.
I am very excited for that. Absolutely. But I'd love to be able to take Vader as a commander once in a while too.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I can.
Nothing stopping
other than
you.
the 3x3s and the 500-point games.
Listening to, I think it was Notorious Scoundrels or one of the other podcasts that takes themselves more seriously than we do. They're
so serious.
They talked about a list that won an RPQ recently with Vader Bosk.
Cool.
And
I can see that.
Honestly, the way that it was played sounds pretty interesting. They were talking about how it was essentially putting a bunch of range 4 stuff out there and daring them to come to you.
Okay. So Vader was your safety, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
so it's like, you know what? Yeah, by all means, step inside of my range 4.
Come
get me.
yeah.
And then, Vader's going to be standing
yeah.
there in the doorway like in the end of Rogue One, just ready to chop up some fleets.
Rebel, you thought. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's still ways to play Vader. Nothing wrong with
Okay, that's cute. No, I like that. I might have to play around with that.
Yeah, try it out. Any last thoughts? I mean, we've been really, overwhelmed with stuff. Did we miss anything big?
The only real big thing other than big old paragraphs in the rules reference, we got C-3PO and R2-D2 announced.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I totally forgot about that.
Those are coming with the terrain pack.
They are going to be in the terrain pack?
Yes, so you need to get the crash pod.
I mean, it's
that
dope
comes
looking.
with scenarios. And then you also get, I guess, not an operative. We know that C-3PO is a counterpart unit to R2. But
so you have to have
it's
both
probably
of them.
not BB-8. So.
Yeah. And
look, sir, droids.
The C-3PO card actually got leaked in air quotes from the rules reference. And that kind of gives us insight into a whole bunch of all these keywords that counterpart, distract, let's see, inconspicuous.
Really? I don't think Goldrad.
So calculate the odds is awesome.
That one as well, yes.
So the calculate the odds is cool because you basically give a free aim, a free dodge, and a suppression to whatever unit you want.
You know who likes those kind of things?
Jin?
And like all the other Rebel heroes as well.
True.
Anyone with teamwork.
So, but the funny thing is, in the rules guide, they actually wrote the description for what the card does, and it says, calculating the odds is. Do you have it handy right now? Because I don't want to screw up the wording of it because it's hilarious.
It's kind of funny though, because Han absolutely hates 3PO, but he works so well with him.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking about this with Han, Leia, Chewie, because I love running Han, Leia, Chewie, and you throw R2D2 and C3PO in there, and it's so fitting having the whole Millennium Falcon crew together.
Yeah.
And they synergize so well with one another.
How many points was 3PO? Did we see?
15 points.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's...
So you're taking him with R2D2.
He had like an ineffectual kick attack. He rolls one...
this clumsy kick.
Clumsy kick, yeah.
This one white dice.
Probably falls over,
So he really is only there because of the benefits he gives. But yeah, calculate the odds. It's calculating the odds of success in the midst of combat can be vital, but it can also be extremely annoying. I love that they actually have that in the rules.
Yay.
So that's cool. But the other kind of speculation that people are doing on Patreon, or I'm sorry, on Discord, was that another keyword that's in there. What was the keyword for that?
Secret mission. That's
Secret
what it
mission.
is. Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been one of those people that's kind of been like, Imperial players are getting bounty, and especially with the double bounty list coming out, it's like, why don't Rebels get anything like that?
Well, they don't have bounty hunters.
Well, they don't have bounty hunters, but, it's kind of nice to have a game mechanic that's similar to that. So we get Secret Mission. What does Secret Mission do?
So what, you get a 15-point unit that gets you a victory point?
Well,
and we got to pay like 100 plus? Okay.
You got to pay a little bit more for the R2 tax. But verbatim...
We don't know it's R2. This is speculation going on. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be R2, though.
It says, while
he's got a secret mission.
He does. While a battle rages on, some units have a hidden directive or a dire goal that will swing the tide of a larger conflict. Once per game as a free card action, a unit with the secret mission keyword can place one victory token on their card, and if they are within an enemy deployment zone at the end of the game, if that unit has a victory token and is not defeated, that player that controls the unit gains one victory token.
So that's far from a sure thing.
Yeah,
Right,
I can't think that the stats on R2 are going to be all that impressive. So
No,
the fact that he's got to get all the way over, maybe moving speed 1 or 2 at the best, probably maybe speed 1, but...
And, from seeing C-3PO, he only has 2 health.
But he also has Distract. So he can essentially do a little mini, Han's Reckless Diversion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you got to kill 3PO first before you can get to R2.
That's not a bad option. We still are waiting to see the full cards on the unit, but I'm assuming if it's an operative, they'll both share 1 token as an activation. Is that
not clear yet?
Okay.
But if I'm speculating, that would make sense.
Yeah, it would be kind of odd if they had separate order tokens.
So I think honestly, they may be a must take.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not saying they're game breaking because that sounds like a pretty tough thing to have to do, especially with all of the snipers and everything that are out there.
At the very least, it's something else that your opponent's got to worry about.
For sure.
Yeah,
and
not a lot of points.
It's a cheap activation.
True.
If you're running...
we don't know what R2's points are. Is it 15 points for the pair, or is
it looks like 15 points for C-3PO.
Yep.
Okay, so we can spec maybe 10 to 15 points, probably 10 to 20 maybe.
Yeah,
for R2.
And even still, if it's like 40 points, that's a cheap activation.
Okay.
I've seen R2 kill people before, so
What have you been watching?
His old taser things.
Yeah,
all
doesn't
that.
kill anybody. Just gives them a little zap-a-dap.
I mean,
and they don't get up. They smoke.
Lit everything on fire and then
that was
jetpacked
the Emperor.
away like a G.
Yeah.
Well, that was just droids.
I want that R2.
Right. So
yeah, we'll get a Clone Wars version of him. That's a.
If I'm looking at running these two in a Han, Leia, Chewie list, having that extra activation that happens also to be an operative makes it a lot better, because if I need Chewie to go and I can't, if I don't have a card that I can put or his order token out there, it's giving me a better chance of drawing him. So there's a lot of ways to run this. I think that they're going to be staples in Rebel lists
Or clones lists as well.
That's right.
It's
'cause
dual
they can play
faction.
clones too. So that's huge. Some people were complaining about, oh, well, you have to buy the upgrade, you have to buy the terrain pack to get it now. It's $40 for 2 models, and you're also getting a terrain piece and a scenario that goes with it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. You don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
It'd be cooler if you did, though.
We're going to have so many escape pods sitting on Legion tables coming forward.
Oh, man, I hope it comes out before October.
Is this going to be the next Barricada thing?
It might be. All right.
How to get out of social situations? Just fire the ejection escape pod. Yeah.
All right. So I feel like that kind of covers everything that we had revealed so far.
Much.
We got some new Patreons, right?
Yeah, we had a new person. Let me grab my piece of paper back from you. Kyle Allison, thank you so much for pledging at the Outrider level. Please do stop by the Patreon. Shoot me a message on whatever platform or just to the Facebook page. But thanks. And as always, continued thanks to all our supporters on Patreon.
Appreciate thank you very much, guys.
We still have T-shirts, so lots of Barricada shirts, power9games.com. You can get those there. Or if for some reason the shipping's being a bear for you or you are overseas, message the Facebook page. We can work something out.
Yeah.
But we do have the drawing. It is technically the first. We probably should. Well, we didn't record last week. But Zane F. is getting the painted model from John. So I've sent you a message on Patreon. So let us know what you want to do there. And Rock got $25.
All right, Rock.
Gift card. So yay.
I mean, all right, Zane too. That's awesome. I mean, we just know Rock because we've
hung
out with him.
Yeah.
We had 5 guys with him, right?
We did. That's right. We did. But thanks again, everybody. We speaking of the feast and famine, we're making a conscious decision where we're going to be taking some time. So basically, we're going to be going every other week. It's basically what we've been doing now for a couple of weeks. But we just want to let you all know until the Clone Wars comes out, and then. But this is going to allow us to get in some more games because time is precious, and I know John wants to be playing more.
I do for sure. Especially with the,
So hopefully we'll have more,
have.
reports on the weapons. Yeah, we've got all those. We need to see something with the Tauntauns and the.
Yeah, I know, right?
The Hoth veterans now.
And I still need to bust Sabine out because I've got her all painted and everything.
Yeah. So this will allow us to kind of go get some more games in that we can report on and talk about until I'm sure the Clone Wars, and we're gonna have so much stuff to talk about.
Oh, again. For sure. Yeah, we'll probably have to bust out a live stream for that.
Yep. Yes, I think we will. I'll definitely set that up. In the meantime, you can catch us on Facebook, Legion Outriders, right there. Zach, you on Twitter or anything like that?
Nope.
Cool. All right. John, are you on the gram?
I got the gram.
You got the gram. Where are you at on the gram?
Outrider John.
Outrider John
I had to think
on Instagram. Are you not on Twitter?
Not on Twitter, no.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at @GRN_Archer or Captain Archer, and also on Twitch at Captain_Archer. But we will be streaming there for the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can see my fancy new my new Sabine, and then also I posted Matt's Celebration Edition of Vader.
I'm so happy with that. It looks so good.
I'm happy
so
with
yes,
that.
definitely check out his painting projects on there because that's what the gram is for.
Yeah, I got Bosk on there too because of all of the Imperial games that I play.
Zach, just so you know, you're still not official third Outrider.
That's fine.
Just so you know where you're at.
Put him in his place after he worked so hard for an hour and a half now.
I think this is going to be an ongoing joke. It's going to be the 2 Outriders and Zach. Yeah. No, you actually beat me the last time we played. So
I actually got 3 games in that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 500 form. I'm telling you, man, 500 point format, John. You need to look into it.
All right. Well, we'll try that out by next week, and then we'll report back for our next episode to see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, folks. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.